So, this is the smallest gimbal that I've ever used or owned. It's called the SPG2 from FeiyuTech, and it's a gimbal specifically made for smartphones. Video capabilities get better and better on smartphones, these gimbals have become more and more popular to stabilize the normal shaky video look that you tend to get from holding a phone like this to much more stable video using a little gimbal like this. One of the things I'm loving mainly about this gimbal is simply just how easy it is to use. Once you balance the gimbal once, which is really easy and won't take longer than a couple of minutes, unless you regularly change your cases, there's pretty much no balancing that you'll ever need to do again using this gimbal. You simply whack in your phone to the little mount up top, which is all protected in this really nice protective rubber plastic, and you're just good to start shooting. The iPhone I'm using here is the iPhone XS Max, meaning it's probably the biggest phone you're going to be able to rig up with a gimbal like this, but the payload still allows me to use this phone and even keep its case on, which is pretty sweet. The shooting options within the camera app on the XS Max means that I can actually change the shooting options from 30 frames a second up to 60 frames a second in either 4K or 1080p. Once I've shot a clip that I like at 1080p, I simply just drop that into my editor in a 25 frames a second timeline, reduce the speed by 2.4 times of a 60 FPS clip, and you're just left with buttery smooth half-speed slow motion, perfect for that cinematic look. So the SPG2 comes with a bunch of additional features that, to be completely honest, I've really not used all that much. You can pair up the gimbal and your phone with the Feiyu On app, and it basically gives you a bunch more functionality than you would traditionally get within the standard iOS camera app. It lets you do things like time lapses or change modes quickly within the app. For me though, the advantage of shooting with something like this little gimbal is its run and gun nature and speed of use. Pairing it with another app kind of just slows things down for me, and if I'm going to be shooting time lapses, I'm pretty much always going to be doing that on a much more superior camera than an iPhone. Let's chat about these modes quickly though, because there are a few really cool inclusions. Default is panning mode, which pretty much does what it says on the tin and will respond to your hand movements side to side, but not up and down. Next there's follow mode, which won't let you roll the camera but will allow you to pan side to side or up or down. Then there's lock, which will be pretty familiar to any gimbal user and basically allows you to lock the current orientation and won't let you change it regardless of where you move your hand and the gimbal. Then we move on to my favorite, and that is follow mode. This mode lets you get super creative with the shots that you're achieving and takes real advantage of the fact that you're going to be shooting on such a small camera. It basically allows you to create a kind of warp effect, and it allows your camera to be moved in almost any direction. Again, most gimbals traditionally nowadays on the market for larger cameras won't let you do this type of thing, so it's super fun for almost any shooter. So now we move on to the price, and this little gimbal is going to set you back around about $159 depending on where you buy it from, which I think is just about an okay price if you're pretty much a dedicated iPhone shooter. If you're shooting on a bunch of cameras and need versatility, you're probably going to want to look elsewhere, as that cost in addition to a regular gimbal is definitely going to add up. However, this little piece of kit really takes iPhone video to the next step, and it's been a lot of fun to shoot with for the past couple of weeks. If you're taking a trip in the coming future and want to really step up the type of video you can shoot with your smartphone camera, this is a really good way to do that. However, if you're looking to actually take a step towards a really far superior video, just buy a better camera. Hopefully you guys have found that video helpful. Give me a shout if you have any questions down below in the comments, and I will catch you next time.